Yo, lip filler check.
You know just how to get my attention. A lot of bullshit from the past I can mention. Come fuck me, you know I don't like tension. You ain't really fuck with me way back then, but how about now? Cause I'm up right now.
Yo, lip filler check.
You know just how to get my attention. A lot of bullshit from the past I can mention. Come fuck me, you know I don't like tension. You ain't really fuck with me way back then, but how about now? Cause I'm up right now.
Hi, good morning everyone. Today I was going to talk about attachment styles. I feel like this is very important to be knowledgeable about because the first step in improving on anything with relationships is really learning more about yourself, and attachment styles really can affect relationships with friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, anything. We form these attachment styles when we're children, and if we have an abusive parent or a parent who's not there for us, we tend to form an attachment style that's not necessarily healthy. Here, I'm going to change this camera angle. It's like a reflection of my glasses. There we go. I guess I'll just be holding this camera up right now. Alright, so the first attachment style is like a healthy attachment style, which, to be honest, I don't know if I've met anyone who has a healthy attachment style. I'd say that I'm getting to a point where I'm pretty close to having a healthy attachment style, but it's tough because I think most people have experienced some kind of trauma in their childhood, and usually with that trauma comes issues with attachment. So the first attachment style is called anxious preoccupied attachment style, and this is the people who are seen as clingy or needy, the people who, if you go on vacation, they want to be updated every hour what you're doing. If you don't pick up your phone and you go to sleep or something, you might wake up the next day with a few missed calls, concerned, thinking something bad happened. Let's see. And I feel like this attachment style is, those people who aren't necessarily happy in their own lives and they're kind of looking for someone to save them. And yeah, this is definitely the attachment style that I had for a long time. I feel like I was very, very needy in past relationships. I almost felt like I didn't have a sense of identity on my own without the person there. And I kind of tend to take on, I kind of mold myself to the relationship instead of keeping my own individuality and then coming together with someone. I tend to become passive, I think, as a way of not pushing people. It's back to the abandonment issues. You kind of start sacrificing your own interests and just being passive as to not risk the relationship with the person that you're dating, or your friend or your family member. And that comes at a cost, because when you don't have a sense of self and you're totally relying on that person for validation or to be your rock, I guess, your world is going to be constantly shifting because no person in a relationship is perfect. And so they're mad at you one day, they decide to go on a vacation, they decide to leave you, you based your whole life upon them, and so now you're kind of screwed. Yeah, so just anxious, preoccupied attachment is honestly just mostly characterized, you can spot it by people who are more clingy, people who need a lot of reassurance. You know, these people might have low self-esteem. Yeah. Alright, so the next attachment style is going to be called dismissive avoidant attachment style. And this is like the polar opposite of the anxious avoidant. So the dismissive avoidant is, you know, that person who is, I don't know, maybe some of them may be like workaholics, or they have a hobby that they completely throw themselves into, you know. They're, you know, if you ask them about themselves, they'll say like, I'm independent, I don't need anyone. So like those people that have a giant wall up, basically. And I feel like a lot of these people, they experienced the type of trauma in their childhood where they decided that it wasn't in their best interest to rely on anyone else because maybe their parents or anyone in their life wasn't reliable, and they had to start fending for themselves at a young age. I have a friend, actually, no, I'll use her for the next example, but these kind of people might, in a relationship, you know, kind of be dismissive or act like they don't really care what you do. They, you know, anytime you get too close to them, they're gonna push you out. They're gonna say, you know, like, I'm too busy, I need to do this and that, like, you know, you should go, you know, go do something, like, you know, get off me, basically, like, get away from me, like, you're too needy. And these people don't tend to have too many very close relationships in their life because they don't want people to get too close to them. I feel, honestly, in my opinion, this is kind of like the simplest one to describe because it's very obvious. It's just, you know, the people who just feel like they don't need anyone. And, you know, as humans, like, we need close connections, so obviously that is a facade that they don't need anyone because everyone needs someone. But, you know, sometimes, to be honest with you, I would almost rather have the dismissive avoidant attachment style than the anxious avoidant one, because at least, you know, these people tend to get shit done because they're constantly, like, working and, like, putting their focus on themselves, which could be a healthy like, strategy in your life, but obviously you need a balance of, you know, being close to other people and also maintaining your independence and working on the things that you love to do. And, okay, so the third attachment style, the most confusing one, the one that has personally driven me crazy, that I think probably 2 out of 3 of my relationships have been with someone with this attachment style. This is called the anxious avoidant. So it's a mixture of the dismissive avoidant and the anxious preoccupied attachment style. So these are the people that they want people in their life that care about them. They want that close connection, but anytime the person gets too close and the person is becoming too vulnerable, then they're gonna shut you out and push you away. And then they'll push you out, and then they'll, you know, start craving that affection and attention or whatever closeness that is. They'll pull you back in, they get scared again, push you back out. So it's like, these people are the kind of people where it's like a roller coaster to be in a relationship with them. And like, I mean, I feel for them because relationships cause a lot of inner conflict for them because they want, you know, they want love so badly, but they're so scared of it because, you know, once you are in love with someone, you're more vulnerable And so there is more of a risk, I guess, of losing, just of loss. Because every time you get in a relationship or you decide to, give your heart to someone, be vulnerable with them, you're putting yourself at risk of having your heart broken, and that's just the reality. Because, no one likes to lose someone that they really love and someone that brings them a lot of joy in life. But in my opinion, at least, it's worth the risk of heartbreak or loss. Because, what's the alternate? The alternate to that is just not having any close connections in your life, not ever, being in love or having affection and intimacy, and just being closed off your whole life out of fear. And to me, that's not worth it. We gotta confront our fear about things so that we can live the best life possible. Because who that lives in fear all the time can say that they have just the greatest life. Like, fear is not a good, it's not ideal. But anyways, the anxious, avoidant people, they also usually have abandonment issues, which is why they are so fearful of being vulnerable and showing their true selves or being too attached to someone, because they may have done that as a child and had it kind of thrown in their face. And so they're just up and down. I don't know what else to say about these people. They're just very confusing. Super confusing. They're probably like the type that, will date you, break up with you for no reason, want to get back together with you, break up with you again, And, I'm not judging this. It's definitely very challenging to be in a relationship with someone with this attachment style. And I think the solution to this attachment style, to healing it, I guess, would be to, confront your fear and to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And, if that brings up fear and anxiety, really have, tools of, doing meditation, doing breath work, having a connection to, a higher source of love, so that you're not so fearful of the person in your life being taken away, because you've built yourself on a more solid foundation. And that can go for, all the attachment styles. For me, when I identified as having more of an anxious attachment style, I feel like what helped me with that was first recognizing that, and then setting up my life to where I feel fulfilled without having a partner in my life. And that was a big deal for me, because for a long time, this is sad, but the only big goal I had in my life was just to find my partner and live happily ever after. And I thought every person that came into my life was just gonna be there with me forever. And that's not always the case, and that doesn't make the relationship worth any less. It's just, some people just come into your life to teach you a lesson. Sorry, my friend called me. But like I was saying, I feel like sometimes people come into your life just to teach you a lesson, to teach you more about yourself, and maybe for you to teach them a lesson, and for you guys just to share love and, just have an experience as a human relating to another human. You know, it doesn't always, every relationship doesn't need to be forever, you know? I mean, but I think when, you know, you haven't built like a solid foundation in yourself, you always want that other person to kind of be like your rock. And like, that's not fair to put that much pressure on anyone to be like your entire life, you know? And I've definitely made that mistake in the past. And, you know, it's just, no one can handle that amount of pressure, especially like maybe someone that has a healthy attachment style, but, you know, let's say you're an anxious attachment style and you're in a relationship with someone who's like a fearful, avoidant attachment style. Like, the more you cling to them, the more they're gonna push you away, and most likely they're just gonna break up with you if you're being needy or clingy. And that's not necessarily because they don't like you or they don't love you, it's just that you're triggering, like, you clinging to them is triggering their wound of being scared of being vulnerable or having anyone too close to them. So the more you cling to them, the more they're gonna push you away. And yeah, I've definitely learned this the hard way. Yeah, but I hope you guys are all having a great day. I feel like my week's been going pretty well. I dyed my hair pink and it, like, I don't know, I need to do it again. It's not very pink, but I still like it. Comment down below if this helped you at all, or, you know, what attachment style you think that you have. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys another day.